The Director of Public Prosecutions, unremarkably referred to as DPP, is an office of the executive in the Republic of Kenya. This agency is designated for criminal prosecutions in the country. Like a shot to fathom surpassingly the functions and powers of the DPP, Kenyans ought to quantify the meaning of these two words, criminal and prosecution. Their sharpness will unequivocally unlock the vast discomposure which the nation has been browsing encompassing the said office. To prosecute is to conduct a prosecution in a court of law. It merely denotes to engage, to pursue, to commit, to act, to move, or to practice. Prosecute is a verb, a doing word of the noun prosecution. But then, criminal is an adjective of the noun crime. Criminal means bringing or deserving severe rebuke or censure. In other words, anything criminal is deplorable, reprehensible, vicious, felonious, or condemnable. Going forward, Kenyans shall require yes-no questions on the allegations leveled against our people, and which among them candidly groom as criminal. This we can't and will never bolt. Pursuant to Article 33, Subarticle 1, Paragraph A, every person has the right to freedom of expression, which includes freedom to seek, receive, or impart information or ideas. Owing to the fact that we all aspire for a regime humbled by the indispensable values of civil rights, evenness, amnesty, majority rule, social welfare, and constitutional order, we have to nemine contradicente examine the ensuing. A. Is the Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu to a greater extent corrupt than the bozos name dropped in the Ipsos survey? Though we should dodge looking only on the surface of things, every Kemboi and Mora can unrepentantly aver that the latter are routinely crooks, blackmailers, contrabandists, goons and goonesses, manslayers, thieves, traitors, and principal criminals whom the DPP needs to earmark. B. Has the DPP been expeditious and prudent upon deposits corroding Kenyan citizens outside Kenyan jurisdiction, despite the fact that Article 2 trophy cases the supremacy of our constitution by or before any court or state organ in Kenya or in the diaspora. For example, Don Bosco Oga Gichana is a Kenyan citizen detained without trial in Tanzania for 7 years today. C. Why is the DPP mute on the demolitions of property by the state, yet the proprietors and owners had been cleared legally by a multi-state agencies? When shall he pursue those involved and secure that their fines reciprocate the value of the property destroyed? D. In spite of Part 2 of the preamble of the Constitution, honoring those who heroically struggle to bring justice and freedom to our land, the DPP has defaulted on this promulgation. When shall he persecute the state officers who violated the rights and fundamental freedoms of one of Kenya's freedom heroes, Dr. Miguna Miguna? E. What has the DPP moved in regard to the parliamentary report on contraband sugar? And lastly, F. Don't you reckon these queries are of public interest and deserve correction or deletion in case they are untrue or misleading, or in equal measure merit publishing and publication as crucial metadata affecting the nation? Article 157 of Part 4 of Chapter 9 of the Kenyan Constitution 2010 enshrines Director of Public Prosecutions. This article preponderatingly reveals the following. 1. There is established the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. 2. The Director of Public Prosecutions shall be nominated and with the approval of the National Assembly appointed by the President. 3. The qualifications for appointment as Director of Public Prosecutions are same as for the appointment as a judge of the High Court. 4. The Director of Public Prosecutions shall instruct the Inspector General of the National Police Service to investigate any information or allegation of criminal conduct, and the Inspector General shall comply with such direction. 5. The Director of Public Prosecutions shall hold office for a term of 8 years and shall not be eligible for reappointment. 6. The Director of Public Prosecutions shall exercise state powers of prosecution and may a. Institute and undertake criminal proceedings against any person before any court other than a court martial in respect of any offense alleged to have been committed. B. Take over and continue any criminal proceedings commenced in any court other than a court martial that have been instituted or undertaken by another person or authority with the permission of the person or authority. And C. Subject to clause 7 and 8, discontinue at any stage before judgment is delivered any criminal proceedings instituted by the Director of Public Prosecutions or taken over by the Director of Public Prosecutions under paragraph B. 7. If the discontinuance of any criminal proceedings under clause 6C takes place after the close of the prosecution, the defendant shall be acquitted. 8. The Director of Public Prosecutions may not discontinue a prosecution without the permission of the court. 9. The powers of the Director of Public Prosecutions may be exercised in person or by subordinate officers acting in accordance with the general or special instructions. 10. The Director of Public Prosecutions shall not require the consent of any person or authority for commencement of proceedings, and in the exercise of his or her powers and functions shall not be under the direction or control of any person or authority. 11. In exercising the powers conferred by this article, the Director of Public Prosecutions shall have regard to public interests, the interests of the administration of justice, and the need to prevent and avoid abuse of the legal process. And lastly, 12, Parliament may enact legislation conferring powers of prosecutions on authorities other than the Director of Public Prosecutions. Ndugu zanguni, sisi ambao tumejizatiti kuwa na shabaha la kulea na kutetea ustawi wa mtu binafsi, familia, jumuiya na taifa, hatuna budi kusimama kidete kutetea katiba ambayo ni sheria kuu ya Jamhuri ya Kenya. Wahenga walinena ya kwamba haifai kumtukana sungura miguu mikubwa na tembo yupo pale pale. Don't laugh at the rabbit's big feet while the elephant is present. In his own words, and you allow me to quote the former Prime Minister and President of the Republic of Cuba, Fidel Castro, something must be done to save humanity. A better world is possible, unquote. Ultimately, my country people, what common will it do us? To fashion such a refined, fine-tuned, admonitory, and exemplary proclamation in Article 157 of our Constitution. Hitherto, the DPP dwindles to induce the selected outcomes. It is really absurd, if not perturbing.